Hello and welcome to episode 129 of the Character Unlock podcast. I am Lee, and with me today I have my good friend John.
Hello.
And my extremely good friend Brooker.
Hello, boys.
How are you guys?
I think John's a bit upset now.
I'm very sad.
I got a diss in early, but it wasn't like a direct diss. They're my favourite.
I'm good. I'm sat here. I have a fresh cup of coffee. It's still hot. I haven't drunk it yet, which is great.
I reached the end of my drink, so I'm quite sad about that.
I have an alcohol-free Guinness.
Why?
So, just a glass of liquid poo.
Yeah, but actually, well, I'm a big Guinness fan, and then Georgie bought me these. Well, I don't know if she bought them for me. I don't know if she bought them for herself, but I'm drinking them either way.
So she bought them, and you're drinking them.
Yeah, and actually, they're surprisingly good. It's easily the best zero alcohol in commas that I've ever had.
Okay, I don't really drink the Guinness, so I wouldn't know if it's good or not.
No, but obviously when you're driving, it's great.
Like Guinness, then it doesn't matter if it's alcohol free or not.
I have a problem at the moment with gluten-free beer, which is appearing and is not particularly nice at all. I went to London a couple of weeks ago with my parents and my sister. Went to see a show. Went to a little pub on the way up to Tottenham Court Road to get the train home, and the only lager they had on, that wasn't some raspberry flavoured microbrewery shit, was, they said, we've got Peroni. Oh, yes, please. I have a bottle of Peroni. Abso-fucking-lutely. Turned up and it was gluten free. They might as well just pissed in the bottle. It was grim.
I keep seeing various lagers and stuff advertising themselves as vegan, and part of me's thinking, at what point were they not?
Isn't it something to do with how they're distilled?
I guess.
I think it's something to do with the lining to whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a brewer. I don't know, but I think it's something to do with whatever they're stored in is.
If it's done in someone's bathtub, then they're not going to be vegan.
No. I don't know the exact thing for it. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with where it's stored, because there's nothing, there's no cow hooves or anything in my Peroni as far as I'm aware.
As far as you're aware.
Well, again, I'm not a brewer.
Old boots.
Yeah. It's just lamb testicles and
Well,
but yeah, apart from and so usually, right, when we do a recording, I've got my TV on because my living room is really fucking weird. So I've not got any sound dampening in my living room because it's not a studio. So obviously corners everywhere, and I try and dampen the sound down as much as I can. But this room is super echoey when the TV isn't on. So I have the TV on and muted, and usually what I do is I stick Kerrang music channel on, because it's just constantly running music videos, and I don't get caught going, oh, it's this. And if I do, it's only for 2.5 minutes until the next song. Something has happened to the Kerrang music channel. It is currently the box, and even on mute, I don't want that shit on my TV. So I currently have Friends.
Aww. So, whatever happened to Scuzz? Scuzz was a good music channel.
I fucking loved Scuzz. I lived on Scuzz.
They binned it.
They got rid of it. I'm guessing because it didn't make any money.
I really used to like Kerrang Radio as well, but they got rid of that too.
See, I used to like Team Rock Radio. Team Rock Radio was fucking great.
I used to like Planet Rock Radio until they went full Kerrang.
What?
They're only digital now as well, aren't they?
Yeah, aren't they owned by Bauer?
Kiss.
Bauer Media.
Guys that own Empire, so they've gone full on commercial radio station. The Empire, yeah.
The Empire. There's so many stations in their Empire now; it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is that so many of the stations are actually pretty good. So all your absolute 80s, 90s, noughties, whatever.
Yeah, see, a lot of the absolute channels got trashed, though, didn't they? Or they're only available in certain.
Got them all. They're only digital, though, most of them.
Nope.
Yeah.
In Northampton, I'm pretty sure in Milton Keynes, there's no absolute 80s or 90s anymore.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I think they might be out of Birmingham though, so I'm a bit closer.
Yeah, so because obviously they charge per area, I think, for the licensing for
I
DAB. So there's no absolute, because the wife used to listen to absolute 80s and 90s, or absolute 90s. The wife used to listen to, and yeah, it just disappeared in some areas. In Milton Keynes and Northampton, there's no absolute 90s anymore. Hasn't been for quite a while.
Quite a few of them have gone to just an online only presence as well,
The apps
just
are pretty
because
good
it's a
though as
lot
well.
easier to just throw it together.
Yeah.
On the plus side is well, not the plus side, I guess, but basically, if you've got an advert on one of the stations and all of your stations are Bauer Media, it doesn't matter. You can't just switch station because every fucking station's got an advert on at the exact same time.
Yep. The same fucking
same
advert too.
Yeah,
All of them are
generally.
all stations.
Because I definitely want to be told by 32 different channels that I need to go out and buy a fucking Kia Niro.
Yeah, it does tickle me. So, I mean, news. I know generally we like to do game news, talk about the things that have been released,
But there's nothing.
but it's pretty limited. We've got Sora is the final character for Smash Ultimate, and
Yay.
the Doom guy costume for the Mii character, who is shit anyway.
Oh.
But I'm pretty sure he doesn't rip and tear,
No.
which is a shame because tearing Mario's head off would have been typical.
Just chainsawing Mario would have been great.
Anything, just annihilating Mario in any way possible. Because they just keep dragging him along. I don't know. People keep buying Mario stuff, man. It's weird. Find it ever so weird.
But Chris Pratt's Mario now.
I don't even know what to think about that at the moment.
I really want it to be good, but you can't just put Chris Pratt in something and hope it's going to be great. I don't see how he plays Mario.
Unless it's animated, I just don't see how it is.
Part of me thinks it is, and that they are just voicing.
I think it's going to
Across
have
the
to be,
board.
otherwise you're going to have another fucking Bob Hoskins nightmare coming at you.
Well, unless they make it the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, where they have like a bit of live action for the sake of it, and then have an animated show. Well, film.
And they're going to probably Looney Tunes it.
Yeah.
Why not? Space Jam it. I liked Sonic as a film, so
I thought Sonic was a lot of
maybe.
fun.
Yeah, me too. So hopefully,
Isn't there a Sonic 2 coming?
There is.
Yeah.
Someone really out there is playing Knuckles as well.
Idris Elba.
It is Idris Elba, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big
Playing
Driss.
Knuckles.
He
forward to
absolutely
that.
is a Knuckles.
Because I love Knuckles. I think he's a great character. Miserable fuck. I didn't like what they did to him in Boom. I thought that didn't do him any justice. But yeah,
I've got to go looking out. I want to know who's going to play Tails.
I think the voice.
Yeah.
I'm sure the voice was the Tails. The voice, the guy who did the bit at the end of the movie, was the same guy that voices him in most of the animated stuff.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So maybe they'll keep him. Who knows? But they didn't use Sonic's voice, so maybe not.
That's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I can't be far off. I mean, there's still some big movies coming out this year.
April next year, I think the new Sonic one is.
Well, yeah, so it'd be April the year after then, because someone will say they don't like the look of Knuckles, and then I'll have to go back and redo the old film because of fan outcry.
Yeah, mate, we've still got some great ones coming this year, though.
Yeah. Matrix 4.
Fuck that. Halloween 3, Halloween 2, Halloween 43, whichever one you want to call it, in a week's time. New Halloween film. Can't wait.
Halloween 21.
Yeah.
Isn't there one every year?
Nope.
Now? Feels like it.
Last one was 2018. So, obviously, we had a pandemic that knocked it out, but yeah, and the next one, the one after it is made, but the one after it is going to be the last one. So the last one, this one, and then the next one, they're a new trilogy, and that'll be the end of it, hopefully. He says
Forever. Until they make another one.
Well, there's some big games coming out the rest of the year too. Well, there are a lot, I think.
We got Far Cry on Friday.
Yeah.
Battlefield in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Let's
Going
have
into the Galaxy in 20 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metroid's this week.
That's this week, isn't it? Alan Wake was
actually
yesterday.
getting smashing reviews as well, that Metroid. So
that doesn't surprise me. As much as I don't care about it, as much as you were kind of a bit pissed at the price and all of that lot, it doesn't surprise me that it's good. It's Metroid. It was going to be good, wasn't it?
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
Nowadays, I don't think they're going to go back to making stupid mistakes again like they did with a couple of the others, but...
No. So I'm just having a look at some... Far Cry 6...
Forza 5 next month.
Yeah. Ooh, an Ori collection next week.
Nice. Great game.
Crisis
Pokemon
Remastered?
Brilliant Diamond Shining and Pearl necklace. I don't know fucking how it's called. November.
We've got Dark Pictures still to come.
Oh yeah. Why isn't
Well excited for
that. The last one come onto Game Pass yet?
I don't think it has it?
Nope, I want it to.
Farming Sim 22. Always a high priority.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite.
Call of Duty.
Sure.
Halo Infinite, obviously they've been having their beta runs the last few weekends.
Have you been on it?
No, I did. I daren't go on it because I don't want to get that taste too early. And I really don't want to get back into playing multiplayer games. I just don't have the time. As much as I do have the inclination.
I mean, this is definitely going to be a conversation we have a little bit later on as well. But yeah, I'm in that boat as well, mate.
People are saying that the Halo Infinite test is actually brilliant, and so fingers crossed that keeps going and they improve it a little bit more before it gets gold, and then continue to improve it because they can do that now.
Yeah, still a few coming this year, isn't there?
Yeah, quite a lot of still unknown dated games, although I would expect that this late in the year, if they've not got a date, that have been moved over to next year.
Almost certainly.
And you said there was a teaser trailer for Layers of Fear.
Yeah, man.
I seen something and I watched a video. Was it some guy with an easel, wasn't it, and some paint? Yeah. And I watched that video and I thought I've got fucking no idea what's going on here.
Well, the first Layers of Fear is
based on Bob.
It was basically a guy who fills in a painting that he was doing by going around his house and remembering stuff. So it all centered around an artist and his painting. So it looks like because the second one doesn't do that. The second one is a completely different story. So it looks like the third one is going back to the artist thing, which is kind of cool.
Right. Did you ever see his face? Does he turn out to be Neil Buchanan?
No, he does not.
Or Tony Hart?
No,
because that'd be fun.
It's Rolf Harris.
That would be.
There's some fucking horror for you.
Fear in you.
But no, I mean, Layers of Fear games are genuinely really fun. I really like them, and seeing that trailer actually kind of kicked me up the arse. I really want to play them again, so I'm hoping they appear in like a Halloween sale on PlayStation, and I'll grab them and play them.
Don't they normally have pretty much everything horror related goes in the sale at Halloween?
Almost always, and I usually pick up one or two little ones. So yeah, it'd be good to pick them up and play them again. I mean, they're not particularly expensive. I think for the full version of one is like £15, and for the two, which doesn't have any DLC, is like £14. So they're not expensive anyway. I'll probably pick them up at some point because I'd like to replay them, and they're fun, and they've got some good scares as well and some really fun bits. But yeah, Bloober Team, man, I can't sing their praises enough. I've still not played Blair Witch, which I kind of want to just because it's them, but I don't really care about Blair Witch. But yeah, them making a third Layers of Fear I think is great. It's a little sad because they've been rumoured to be being a part of a new Silent Hill game. So I would be a little bit sad if they end up not making a Silent Hill game and making Layers of Fear 3, but knowing them, I'm sure it'll be great.
Well, fingers crossed for you, mate. Can't say I'll be touching it with. If I had a 10-foot barge pole example to show you, I would, but I don't. So just have to imagine the 10-foot barge pole that I'm going to be using to not go anywhere near that game.
You never know. You might get a taste for it one day.
It's unlikely. I can't never say never because, it's been a long time since I've tried to play a horror game. Or it's been quite a while since I've even watched a horror movie, if I'm honest. So you never know.
It's Halloween, mate. It's perfect time for it.
Yeah. But I cut into my game time.
True.
Well, that's the news.
for what it was worth talking about.
Fleshed out as best we could.
I'm just looking at game releases now for next year, and beginning of next year looks pretty well loaded. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
So Lee, when it goes actually put it out there, I'll play Halo Infinite with you when they actually give it as the co-op stuff.
Okay.
Because I won't play it otherwise.
That's true. So let me ask you a question.
Don't have the sex change; it never works out.
What? That's a suggestion, not a question.
Well, you were going to ask if you should have a sex change. The answer is no.
What is your favourite superhero game?
Do you want just one?
Yeah, let's go with one, and we can have a chino over that before we go into what we've been playing.
Infamous.
Which are we saying? All of them?
Just Infamous as a franchise.
Yeah, I like Infamous. I think that's really good. I was very, very fond of the latest one, the Second Son.
Yeah, Second Son was excellent. It was a shame you got the most fun power right at the end.
What, really? I didn't like Concrete. I thought it was a bit boring.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, just Infamous as a whole, and actually like the arc across 1 and 2, depending on how you played, obviously. The arc across 1 and 2 I really liked, and I thought the ending was quite satisfying. And obviously you got the Festival of Blood thing, which was just daft fun. And First Light I thought was excellent. So yeah, just Infamous as a whole I think is a great superhero story. Without having to lean on an already existing property, which is not always, but does tend to be the downfall of games and films when they do that.
Yeah, largely, yeah, because they're not given enough free rein with the story most of the time. No. I find. Yeah. What about you, John?
The first Marvel Ultimate Alliance game.
Yeah, good shout. It was
pretty
really
fucking
good.
solid story, and the gameplay itself was good. Plus, the whole cast of actual heroes was decently balanced. You didn't just have to run around with like one character and always fucking dominate everything. You could just flick between them all.
Yeah, I didn't mind 2. I really didn't click with 3. I don't know. 3 just doesn't feel right.
What was the one we played together?
Boring.
1.
1.
Did we even finish it?
Don't know. Don't know.
Don't remember.
I don't think so.
Well, it was boring for Brooker anyway, because he was just, not.
Because it was shit.
Yeah, because it's old, ain't it? It's really, really old.
Literally 15 years old.
But it was brilliant back in the day, and the fact that it had a unique story, which was good. Whereas with the second one, they kind of half-arsed and half-bodged the Civil War storyline because it wasn't even the same as the comics. They just sort of bashed it in there to try and make it work.
I like how they set up the sequel to be like massively towards Galactus, and then just made a throwaway comment in the second one about the fact that there was a war with Galactus.
Yeah, that was really shitty. But it's just one of those, isn't it?
My list says Marvel Ultimate Alliance for last August. You chose that, so I'm guessing that was number 1.
Oh, there you go then. Must have chose it for something or other. Oh, it was co-op last year we did,
yeah,
wasn't
co-op
it?
games last year.
Oh yeah, cool. Honestly, I can't. I don't think I can pick one. I suppose I've got to.
Don't fucking come at us with a question and not have an answer for it,
Oh,
douchebag.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I really, really like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Right.
That kind of counts.
No.
Why? Why does it not count? He's not exactly a standard human. He's not even exactly a standard Force wielder. He's a super version, and you can play him as a hero. Yeah. But that's a long push. I mean, there's been so many now superhero games, and I've honest to God, I must have played. I've definitely played every single Marvel release and a lot of the other large scale stuff. I really, really like Deadpool.
Deadpool, I enjoyed,
but only for the comedy. The gameplay was
even rough. The hack and slash dodgy gameplay I thought was all right. The first time I played it, when I played the remaster or re-release or whatever it was, I got about halfway through. I was like, I've had enough of this. I mean, I finished it, but it didn't. That was 100% a one and done game.
Yeah. About South Park, the fractured butthole. They're all superheroes in that.
I mean, you are reaching a bit here, and
I'm only messing. I'm messing. I really, really love Spider-Man: Shattered Dimensions. I really, really love Spider-Man: Web of Shadows. I really love Edge of Time.
You are a Spider-Man super fan, though, are you not?
Yeah, I really love both.
Ultimate Spider-Man from like 2005.
Yeah, I really loved Ultimate Spider-Man. In fact, I quite liked Spider-Man: Friend or Foe, even though it was a kid's game. Christ, I loved Second Son. Thought that was great.
I think that the thing for me, the ones that come out for me that the highest quality and are always the most fun to play, these are the ones that genuinely only ever appear on PlayStation. I'm not saying that to be a contrarian or start console flaming, but the
PS4,
the studios that are making these games are allowed to have the time to make them and make them well, and you don't get that with multi-platform games because dickheads like Ubisoft just want to throw their shit out for the bottom line, whereas Sony go, I mean, we're going to sell the fucking game anyway. Take your time and make it perfect, or as close to perfect as can be, and I think that's helped a lot. And the two Spider-Man games that came out on PS4 and PS5, I think are perfect examples of that. They are excellent games, and I don't particularly like or care about Spider-Man as a character, but I was invested in the games, and the games played really fucking well.
Yeah.
I mean, Arkham Asylum was actually phenomenal, but the follow-up Origins, Night and City were good, but nowhere near as good.
Yeah,
I liked Arkham and I did like City. I didn't like the one after that.
I liked Arkham. Not Arkham. I liked Asylum. I thought Asylum was great. I got a bit bored with City. I think that was just the way I was playing it. Surprisingly, quite liked Origins, which was the shitty prequel.
Wait, did I play that one? Which one was Origins?
The one with Black Mask.
Fuck, I can't even remember that one. I must have played it.
It was dead short, but it was about 8 hours, and it was a budget game. It wasn't long at all, and I quite enjoyed it. And then
it was a PS3 game.
It was, yeah. And then Night was just the fucking worst.
Oh god, it was the fucking Batmobile sim. It was awful. I hated it so much.
They put a lot of time and effort into making it so that because people were desperate to have the Batmobile to drive around, so they just went, okay, fine, we'll give the Batmobile. But the problem is that it's not a huge area to play with, and the Batmobile sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, they could have done something better. Sections of between city districts or something that you have to drive between. Or something other than just rolling around in that fucking thing constantly.
driving into the wall repeatedly.
I
because
never
the controls were
finished.
shit.
I never finished Night. I genuinely hated my time with it. So thankfully I rented it, so I sent it back.
I finished Asylum. It's the only one I did finish. I think I didn't get much past Freeze in City.
I don't remember where I got to in City.
I think I got past Freeze and then realised that I got to a point where I was just thinking, this game's too fucking huge. Every time I move, I get a fucking phone call or something about something somewhere nowhere near me.
The fucking the crime alerts, the phone call, the ringing phones. I was losing my shit just swinging around, feeling like I was being forced to do side quests.
Oh, I picked one of them up the other day for a quick play. I can't remember. It was one that had a load of DLC, and I never played the DLC. I think it might have been City. And it looked fucking abysmal when I put it in the console. It looked absolutely terrible. It turns out, it took me a while to figure it out, it was the auto HDR.
Yeah.
Actually made it look fucking a bit awful.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, you can turn the auto HDR off for everything, or now you can actually turn it off for individual games.
Oh, that's all right then.
So for some games, it works really well on. So for Wolfenstein 2, it worked really, really well. For Wolfenstein 1 and the Old Blood, it was shit. So I just turned it off for those two games when I was playing it. And all you need to do is reset the game after you've changed the setting. So it's really good. So you just go into your storage, into your game, and change. I think it's compatibility options.
Yeah.
Against the game itself, and then you can just change it, which is frankly it is brilliant rather than just turning it off and on for everything. So it's handy.
I'm just looking for Injustice.
Yeah, Injustice 1 and 2. 1 was definitely my favourite out of the two, but I really did like 2 as well.
Yeah, I think 1 was excellent. 2 was shoehorning a lot of other stuff in.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot.
One's got the animated movie coming out as well, hasn't it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so many, mate, so many.
Prototype?
The Wonderful 101.
What the fuck is the Wonderful 101?
Oh, it was a Nintendo game. It was so cheap. Shit. It was just shit.
Big fan of Prototype.
Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Oh, God.
I loved it. When I was younger, particularly just like smashing cars up and wearing them as fists and stuff like that, I just thought it was really cool, like grabbing missiles out of the air and lobbing them back and stuff. It was a lot of fun. They ought to make another Hulk game, because Marvel Avengers was just fucking ruined the Hulk. Like, if you're playing a game where you're playing the strongest one there is, and you're pounding on a fucking pissy little robot for 5, 6, 7 plus punches, because that's how the game plays, when you're the strongest thing in the universe almost. It's completely broken for me. It just shouldn't be like that.
No.
But, that's balance, I suppose, in those sort of shitty games.
As relatively fun fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Yeah, but the last one was poo.
Number 3 was the best.
I thought 2 was the best.
What one have I played? I don't know what one I've played. I've definitely played 1. All I remember is being Deadpool and beating up Galactus at the end.
It was 2, wasn't it?
Is that 2?
I'm pretty sure that was 3. All of them ended up finished with Galactus, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, then clearly my description isn't going to help.
3 got the ultimate, didn't get the ultimate release afterwards as well, didn't it? And yeah, so 3 was the worst for me. I thought that was just pants. Didn't click at all. And it got dropped off all of the fighting game circuits pretty quick as well.
Oh.
I think it was broken.
Probably.
What was the other Shattered Dimensions one? Which was the other game that developed? Was it Beanox? Sure they made a second one. Or was that Edge of Time that they made?
I don't know. My knowledge of Spider-Man games is pretty much just the one on PS4 and Spider-Man 2.
Well, there we go. Superheroes. Oh, that's it. It was Edge of Time, but they made both of the movie tie-in ones as well. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. 1 was good. 1 was really good. 2 was fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible. And to be fair, the game itself was good and it looked good, but it had one mechanic in that game, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, one mechanic that fucking absolutely ruined the game completely. And they had like a paragon meter at the bottom of the screen. And to get it to go up to make you good, which typically Spider-Man is good, but to get up into the good, you had to do missions. And these are like random missions. But the timer went down on this paragon meter naturally. It didn't stay up once you'd done a mission. It just drifted back down again. And so basically, if you didn't keep doing these fucking side missions over and over and over and over, it would just go back down. And the problem was you couldn't do enough of them to keep it up. You would you basically just have to keep doing them one after the other to keep it up. And it fucking just ruins the game. Absolutely ruined the game. There was no turning it off or nothing. I must have played it for a few hours before I thought, fuck this. Fuck this. And I don't often put superhero game down, even if it's bad. But yeah, that was just abysmal. I wonder if they fixed and turned that shit off.
No.
Probably not. Went the way of the film.
In the bin.
Yeah. There was an old game on the PS2. I think it was Rise of the Imperfects, which was a Marvel game.
Okay.
But based on a set of characters that were basically made for the game. But the backdrop characters were Marvel characters.
Yeah.
So these were like a group of fucking crazy powered, like some guy had poison spit or some shit. I can't even remember now. One guy was basically half cyborg or some shit. I can't really remember the demo. I remember that being quite good. But there you go. Superhero games. And obviously we've got a new look at the PS4/5 Superman Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, man.
Which looks dope. So
looks like fun. I mean, it's going to be about 8 years before we get to play it.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping, because obviously they had Miles Morales and Peter Parker on the screen at the same time. So I'm very, very much hoping for some co-op play, which could be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed they start bringing out. All of the ones are good. I mean, what we got incoming, we got Guardians, Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad.
Yep. Got Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 coming from Insomniac, aren't they? But again,
yeah,
they're
definitely.
103 years away.
Yeah, probably going to be a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't think of any others off the top of my head. Sure, didn't they sort of half tease Injustice, or is it Mortal Kombat they're teasing now? I can't remember.
Mortal Kombat was the last one, so I'm guessing if they're alternating like they were previously, then Injustice will be next.
Yeah, that might be what I remember. Then it looks like they weren't going to do Injustice. It looks like they're going to do another
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. There's that Marvel Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah.
Wait, which one's that?
That's the card game, Marvel game.
Okay.
Watch the video, you'll see. I mean, I'm sure we've discussed this, but then it's probably on one of the ones that you were off, and you've not listened back to it.
Was it the Sony thing?
Yeah, it was the Sony thing, I think. Yeah.
So I think it got buried. I mean, we definitely talked about it, but I think it probably got buried by us talking about like God of War and that.
Oh wait, no, I think I did take a look at because I remember it being involved in an episode that I was on.
Yeah, you slept through that episode, though, didn't you? Didn't we have to wake you up because you were snoring?
Sure.
Was that episode?
No, John falling asleep was quite a while back.
Oh, right. No, this was... I'm definitely sooner than that, but you cut it from the final edit. Not kidding. I bet he did fucking fall asleep, though.
I fall asleep listening to you talk all the time.
Would you do, like, put me on a speaker at home and play me back? Obviously, it wouldn't be the podcast because you don't listen to those.
No, that's because Brooker keeps me awake.
Oh, right. So, well, I'm not even going to touch that fucker. Well, I suppose we ought to move on to onto what we've been playing. So, Johnny, you got a jingle for us, mate?
Nope. That's your domain. Even if you're hosting, you are Jingle Boy.
I am the Jingle
Worst superhero ever.
Yeah, Jingle Man.
Nope, Jingle Boy.
I wouldn't be a boy because that's a sidekick, and technically, if you've not noticed, comics haven't really done sidekicks since like the 90s.
Yeah, but you are the sidekick to the podcast.
The sidekick to Jingle Man. Jingle Man and Jingle Boy. Sounds like a venereal disease.
Does a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's Dribbling Man.
Yeah, Dribble Man.
And Drip Boy.
Wow. John, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing, as per usual, Destiny 2 because it's still going for me and will be going forever.
While we're on the subject of Destiny 2,
right.
Have you put a bot into your Discord channel for Destiny 2?
Yes.
Right, okay. Because it fucking spams my iPad.
Well, it shouldn't be, because it shouldn't have notifications going on it.
I have notifications on everything on Discord.
Oh, that's your fault then.
Why have you created a bot on your...
I haven't created a bot. I've picked a bot up for Destiny. And the notification settings to it is set to only mentions, so that's your fault if you've got notifications for it.
So what does your bot do exactly?
It literally just tells you what is happening for dailies and weekly stuff that's changing in the game. Basically just whatever's on sale.
You are such a nerd.
It's so I don't have to go and run around and find out what everything is. I can just go, oh look, Ada's selling this mod, so I can go pick that up if I don't already own it. And it's not just for me. Is all I'm saying.
Are you using it for cross-play chat as well?
Aren't you a philanthropist?
Yeah, as well.
I see Nate still dipping in and out because he posts occasionally.
Nate dips in more than just that. He's playing right now, actually. But myself and Nate have reached the level cap for gear. So it's now just the rest of the way to go till we hit the actual level cap for the season.
All right. It's been a while since anyone sent me an invite, to be honest.
It's because you've not been on it.
We don't have to play it for someone to send you an invite, do you?
Well, no, but there's no point sending you an invite to a game that you don't want to play.
Yeah, but how do you know I don't want to play it unless you send me an invite?
Because you're quite vocal in the fact you don't want to play it.
Can I have an invite too?
Yes, Brooker, you can.
I could always ignore the invite.
Do you want me to start sending you invites whenever I get bored? I'll do it.
Not whenever you're bored, just if you need a player that's shit.
Just nipping out to your car in the afternoons and sending invites from the app on your phone.
Yeah, the problem is with Destiny is obviously once you get to a certain, you're doing certain stuff, you've got to be a certain level to do it.
Yeah.
And it's irrespective of how good I am at shooters, it's not going to make any difference because I'm fucking severely underleveled.
Yes.
So you'd end up having to run loads of shit with me just so I can get some gear so that I can come in. It's just a big old cycle of shit, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah, but you're probably far enough behind that it'd actually be really quick for you to level up emotionally.
Yeah, probably. Which is why I'm really quite excited for Infinite. Is I know that there's not going to be that scale. I can just drop in whenever and be the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is a big bonus. Big bonus.
Big bonus.
Does Infinite not have leveling in it then?
I think it does.
It does, but it
Leveled gear.
doesn't change your character in any way.
Okay.
Everyone has the same character to go in with. You could probably just level up parts, visually. I think what it used to do, and on some of the others, is you'd level up and just unlock new armor sets and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's Overwatch.
I have no idea. Halo's been around a lot longer, so I'm going to go it's Halo.
Fair enough.
I mean, otherwise they're essentially making it play and or pay to win, aren't they? Which isn't the case.
Well, yeah, this
Halo's
is why I'm
always
asking,
been
because obviously, like the kind of games I used to play online, so your battlefields and your kill zones, very much are the more you play, the better gear you get, the better you are.
No, Halo generally has always been. Yes, I mean, the later ones you do have a limited loadout change, but it's not stuff that not everybody's got access. Everyone's got the same access to it all the time, so it's always a level pegging field for everyone.
Yeah, there's only like 11 guns total in Halo.
Did you say a level pegging field?
Yeah,
It's not the same thing, dude.
mate.
I don't know what your experience of Halo is.
Instagram at the weekends, mate. I know you know what a level pegging field is.
This is why I don't play Halo, boys.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I don't even know where I was.
You just Destiny, mate.
Yeah, I've been playing Destiny, like I do. But as of today, the Battlefield 2042 beta's gone live to play, and I played exactly one game and came to the conclusion that it's okay. It's not amazing.
Well,
it's not what everyone's saying online about it, as they usually do. It's kind of bland. It's like a game cosplaying as Battlefield.
Fair enough.
It's pulled mechanics from other games. The gimmick for being able to change your gun on the fly is pretty fun. Very Crisis, very Ghost Recon, actually.
When you say change your gun on the fly, do you mean like add mods to it?
Yeah,
while you're running?
Just
Okay.
hold a button. It's not while you're running. You actually stop while you do it because it's kind of weird. But you literally just, as you're stationary, hold down like the left bumper, and it lets you pick different things. So you can change the barrel to like an extended barrel or a suppressor, or you can change the scope, change the
all
magazine.
things you could theoretically do.
Yeah.
If you had a gun.
Yeah,
true.
And you had the attachments to hand, but literally
none
you
of
do
these
that
things
on the fly.
But none of those are ever going to be used once you start actually playing Battlefield, because to stop and start modding your rifle in the middle of a game just assumes death.
Yeah, literally, right. You take a bit of cover, and you think, oh, I'm going to change my gun to have a scope on it. Then you step outside thinking you're going to be able to use the scope to shoot someone, and there's just a guy on top of a building with a sniper rifle and just domes you. Because he's set his gun up and just lied down on the top of a building with a fucking sniper rifle. Well, doesn't need to change it because that's what he does. That's Battlefield. Yeah. Or you'll think, oh, I'm going to change my gun for better close quarters, and there's just a guy with a shotgun just fucking nerfs you.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea in theory. In practice, I don't think it would work.
It's a great idea in theory, and I really like the idea. But outside of maybe changing your gun once on the fly, you're probably almost never going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a single time where I would need to change like my weapon that much to warrant needing it. Like maybe if I had a long scope on it and I went inside a building because the game mode I'm playing is pushing for me to go inside a building, but then or I'd just not use that gun. Just go change to a different loadout with close quarters.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, when you're in the middle of changing your weapon around, you're going to get shot and killed. But Yeah, when I was playing it, it was quite fun because it's fully crossplay as well. So you've already got everyone.
Everyone's already cheating.
Yeah. Uh,
There's already
you've already
guys
got.
shooting you through 5 buildings in a tank from across the map with a pistol.
But there are people that are clearly playing like flight sticks, playing with the aircraft already on their PCs. They're just flying, just like walk into the area and it's just absolute annihilation.
Well,
But
these are the
it
kind of
does
people though
have
that they
AIs in it.
genuinely have that. They have a full desk set up ready for it. They've got their mouse and their keyboard for when they're shooting, and they grab a plane. They've got a proper full-on flight deck on their desk. It's
Yep.
insanity.
I've never seen anyone with that sort of setup. It must be entertaining.
My brother's got a similar setup because all he pretty much plays is flight sims, and his computer desk is just one giant flight deck.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who've got steering wheel and pedal setups for their PCs, and literally they will just lift their keyboard and move it to the side, just so they can get better grip of the steering wheel, and then when they need to, pull the keyboard back in front of the steering wheel.
Yep.
So people do it, and it's pretty common especially on PC. You'd think it'd be more common on console, but for space, but obviously there aren't that many peripherals for console. But yeah, there are AIs in Battlefield because I was killed mostly by AI shooters because when you get into a straight firefight with most people, they're not that good. But for some reason, the AI, and it does tell you it's an AI, will just
like
hop.
Bot 3. You were killed by
Yeah,
Bot 22.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they've got it programmed to know exactly where all of the enemies are at once because they will walk into a room and turn and face you immediately and snipe you from like 2 feet away.
Brilliant.
So while jumping.
Yeah. Fucking love jumpers.
Bot's giving it the old 360 no scope. I love it.
It literally, there's almost exactly what happened earlier. The bot walked into the room, just jumped in the air and just shot me with a sniper rifle, and I died from the headshot. And I was like, all right, that happened. Yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
So not a lot then, kid.
I don't have a lot of time to play games when apart from Destiny.
No, I can understand that. I wish I had the benefit of youth like you do.
Well, maybe in 20 years' time, when I'm your age, I'll be a cynical old shit.
Well, by that point, you see, we'll be retired.
Yeah, it comes for us all, mate. Comes for us all.
Yeah, and the last group of retired people that we played with on Destiny, Lee, you'll be just like them.
Well, they're still playing Destiny, though.
They probably are.
They definitely are. I see them all the time.
They're not on my friends list. I don't know.
I ought to just delete them off mine, to be fair. I've not spoken to those two in ages. Because they got shitty me once because I called them both shit.
Well, they kind of were.
Yeah, they were, and I can't remember what it was now, and I really like those guys because they were always about and they were always good fun to play with. But whenever they wanted to do something serious, it was like, I don't want to do it with you. They were like, why? I was like, we really want to do this raid. I was like, look, I'm not doing the raid with you. I think in the end we did one. I can't remember which one it was. And about fucking 15 failed attempts on this one really easy section, I was like, I'm not fucking playing with you guys, you're shit.
Fucking hell.
Because I'm sure it was Crota.
Yeah, it's Crota, which you do in 20 minutes.
It was so easy to fucking do, and just they could not do the bridge. I couldn't get them to do it the right way, and I couldn't get them to do it the glitch way, and I was just like, for fuck's sake.
It was actually harder to do it glitch than it was to do it the right way.
Yeah, of course it was. And it wasn't. When it started, it was. After a little bit of power creep, it was a piece of piss to do it the proper way.
I actually did a Crota raid not even that long ago. because someone wanted to do a load of Destiny 1 raids at one point. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do them. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is all it took to do the whole Crozer raid. Takes longer to do some strikes in Destiny 2.
Crazy, ain't it? I quite like that. I quite like that raid as a whole. I thought it was really good. And I always did like whacking Oryx with the sword. Crota with the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Fucking hell. There's so many fucking hive now. I've no idea what the fuck's going on.
Someone drew basically a hive family tree on Reddit a couple of weeks back. It's kind of weird.
People have got too much time.
People need to go get jobs. Fucking hell.
The problem is that a lot of people actually have like stupid, easy fucking jobs like architects, where they just draw a picture once every so often in crayons.
You may be massively underestimating what architects do.
Yeah, I think probably.
One of my mates.
I mean, he's not a million miles away, but yeah.
My school chums is an architect now, and that's just a running joke that he just uses crayons because he's always on his fucking Xbox while he's working from home, as it were.
Nice.
Just occasionally draws a picture every so often.
Well, you know, if you can get away
the thing
with
is
it.
with a lot. Well, the thing is with a lot of that stuff, it can all be automated as well nowadays.
True.
So he's probably just wrote a load of scripts and then just sits there and lets them run.
Yeah,
Building all of his imaginary buildings and working out all of his shit. Who knows? Well, Mr. Brooks, what have you been playing?
I mean, I've only got 2 games to talk about as well, to be honest, and one of them I already spoke about at length last time, and you spoke about at length for the last year and a half.
and longer.
I think you might be exaggerating a little bit.
I don't think I am at all.
I haven't spoke about it at length, or for a year and a half.
I don't think I am at all. I have to edit these, remember? I know exactly what you say.
It's perfectly true and legitimately true. And, you know, with good reason. It was my game of the year last year.
So I played Hades. As we know, like the last time we played... the last time we recorded, I had literally like 20 minutes beforehand finished my first ever... Well, I finished my first run. No.
Yeah.
Got my first finish on Hades.
Yep.
Turns out that when you do that, the addiction kind of snowballs.
Yep.
And I basically spent a week like profusely apologising to YouTube because all I did was keep texting you shit I was doing on Hades. I think I finished 7 runs now.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm still not in like your league and probably never will be.
It's a shame you didn't get to 10.
I will be going back to it, but
And then from the 10 do a few more and get the final.
yeah, see that's the thing. So when I'd done 1 and I wanted to go back and I failed my next one. And then I think I finished 4 in a row by the time I got to the end of it. And the problem was, so I can't remember the exact timeline, so we'll say on Wednesday I played a game and went, okay, I need to slow this down now, because at this point, like last time we recorded, I already owned Deathloop and hadn't fucking put it on yet because I was too busy playing Hades. And the problem was I kept picking up Hades going, well, I only need half an hour to play Hades, whereas I want to really get into the story for Deathloop, so I need a few hours. So I kept playing Hades, and on more than one occasion in that time, literally on the Saturday, some plans that I had got cancelled because every cunt in the country decided they needed to fill their car up with petrol, even though they're all goddamn well working from home. So I was supposed to go up north for a day and obviously couldn't because I couldn't risk draining my car of diesel and then not being able to get to work. So the wife and the little one went out for the day. They nipped up to Northampton to see some family, and I stayed home. I thought they were only going to be out a couple of hours, so I opted not to put Deathloop on and put Hades on. 6.5 hours later, they still weren't home, and I was still playing Hades. Obviously, I walked the dog and done myself some dinner and all that kind of shit as well. But the basic point was I could have dug into Deathloop, but actually, what I wanted to do more than anything was continue to play Hades. So I ended up. So we'll say that was Saturday, and I remember I said to you guys, I said I need to stop this because I've taken a couple of days off work and I want to play some Deathloop. But if I get to Wednesday and I'm still playing Hades, I either will not play Deathloop, which will be really fucking annoying because I've spent 80 quid on a deluxe edition steelbook version, or what's more likely to happen, because this happens all the goddamn time, I will start playing Deathloop, and because it's not the excellent game I've just been playing, I'll hate it. See Ghost of Tsushima for a prime example of that. 100% should have been my game, but because I played it a day after finishing The Last of Us for the second time around, there was no way it was ever measuring up, and I ended up hating almost all of my time with it. So I said to you guys, I was like, well, I need to stop this. I need to stop playing. And that was Saturday. And then Sunday I played it again. And then turned it off in the afternoon. And I texted you guys and went, right, I'm done. That's another run done. I'm not playing anymore. And then I played it again. I did another run when they were out doing something else. Like, right, I'm uninstalling the game after I've done this run because this is taking the piss. So I ended up genuinely, I've had to uninstall Hades from my PlayStation because every opportunity I got to pick up the controller, I wouldn't play anything but carried on playing Hades. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying it means I'm not playing the games I really want to play as well, so Hades can wait. It'll always be
not
there.
Going anywhere.
And the thing is, once I finished a couple of games, I've got Deathloop, I've got Alan Wake came out yesterday. I've got no other big games for the year. I'd like to have a bash at Far Cry, but I'm not fucking buying it. I'd like to have a bash at Forza, but again, there's a Game Pass thing, and I'll just install it and play it for an hour. Battlefield, I probably won't bother with. So actually, once I'm done with Alan Wake, I've got a lot of free time game-wise between now and, well, February, when Horizon and Saints Row come out. So Hades can take up as much time as it fucking wants. The bottom line is, I spent far too much time playing Hades since the last episode. But it is a fucking phenomenal game. And just when you go, I can turn it off now, another bit of story unfolds, and you just want to see what happens, and you want to have another run, and you want to see what you can do. And it's it genuinely is an addiction.
And the game that keeps giving, mate.
It is. And obviously I've not put as many hours into it as you, but like I'm 20 hours in or something, and I've not seen the same bit of dialogue twice.
You never see the same bit twice.
But this is my point. Like, you can play other big games and have the same bit of dialogue loop going around because you're doing something very similar and it hasn't been written in any other way. But Supergiant?
Yep.
Supergiant put so much effort, mate. Some of these companies got to change their name. Supergiant and Supermassive are interchangeable in my brain. They're two very different developers. But yes,
they are.
Supergiant have put so much effort into their writing and so much effort into their production that I've not seen the same line twice. I genuinely want to know about all the characters. I don't just land back in the House of Hades and go off for a run. I have to go and talk to everybody. I have to click on everything because I want to see what's changed. It's great. It genuinely is such a great game.
The only bit of dialogue that comes up more than once is the passing dialogue. So, like, when you walk into Skelly or you walk into up to Hades, the passing dialogue you'll hear every now and again. But even that's quite sparse.
Yeah.
Like hit me boyo.
Yeah.
And stuff like that you'll hear. But anything written, I don't believe that it's possible to see anything twice unless you start the game again.
Nice. I'm good with that. And I will definitely have a try to see if that's true. In a bit of time. What I'm scared of, actually, to be honest, I was thinking about it today. I thought, shit, like my muscle memory is going to be completely gone. What was getting me through most of those tougher battles was muscle memory. and I've just fucked off and played Deathloop for 24 hours.
It doesn't leave you, mate. It didn't.
So the other game I finally played Deathloop, and I rolled credits on Deathloop about an hour and a half ago.
Good.
So go on.
I was gonna say good shout.
It was something I wanted to do. Because I'll definitely keep talking about it next week or next episode. But I know I can't always do it. But I like to talk about at least one game that I've maybe finished. Do you know what I mean? Now Deathloop. Obviously, I'm not going to do spoilers because it's quite new. I know Lee's playing it. It will come to Game Pass eventually, and I think John might pick it up. So I'll be as kind of vague as I can. It is, in essence, a time loop rogue-lite game, which, I'll be honest, I was a bit worried about. I was super excited to play it because it's Arcane, and I fucking love Arcane, and like the art style and the story kind of sounded cool, but I think it's quite easy to fuck up mechanics like that, and I'm in no way saying Deathloop is perfect, but it kind of hasn't fucked anything up so far. You basically play as a guy, you've got no idea, well, you know who you are, but you don't know what your place is in this story yet. You wake up on a beach, and you have to unravel quite a complicated web of stories going on across 4 time periods, across 4 different areas of an island that you are stuck on, which is in a constant daily loop. So at the end of the day, everything resets back to the beginning of the same day, and it all plays out again. So you have to, your job as the main character, Colt, is to break that cycle, which is quite complicated to understand. It's quite, as I think Lee will probably testify to, it's quite an overload of information that gets thrown at you quite quickly at the beginning of the game. There is a lot going on, and at one point I had to stop and sit back and go, let's take this like a step at a time. What the fuck is going on? Because within 2 loops, a full day cycle, within 2 loops, I've been introduced to 8 people that I've got to understand what's going on. I've been introduced to a whole mechanism for keeping stuff between loops. I've been introduced to, this person that's trying to kill me constantly and can appear at any point and try and kill me. You don't just have like a mission log, because your mission will change depending on the time of day, and your mission will change depending on which area you need to go to. But you also have a log for weapons you can collect, or slabs. So slabs act the same way as powers do in Dishonored. So these are things that, like in Dishonored, you would unlock them with runes. In Deathloop, you have to kill the people carrying them to take them off of them. So you have to go to their body and take the slab from them, and then once you've taken it once, you can keep taking it and you'll get upgrades to your slab. So each slab has 4, I think, upgrades. You can only assign 2 at a time, which is great. So it's very much got this Dishonored feel to it. So you've got these powers you can use. Obviously, it's got a blink power. It's not called blink, but it's got a blink power, which is great, because then you very much feel like you're playing Dishonored. It's got one that makes you invisible. It's got one that makes you like super powerful. It's got one that connects people together, so you can fire this thing at a group of people, kill one, and it will kill all of them.
I always like that in Dishonored.
You know what? I felt like such a beast playing Deathloop. And you walk into this area, you'll see the area eventually, and you'll know which bit I'm talking about. But there's about 9 people there just hanging around.
Right in front of the library.
No.
I got one where there was 9. I think it was 11 people stood in front of the library, and I got them all with one grenade.
There's an area. There's a shop that is on fire at one point, and that's all I'll say because you haven't got to that bit yet. In front of the shop that was on fire, might be on fire, can be on fire. There's a group of like 8 or 9 people, and they weren't particularly in the way, but I didn't really want them there. So literally, I just fired this Nexus thing at them. It webbed across all of them, headshotted one, they all went down, and you feel like a fucking badass. So the thing I found with Dishonored, I know I've used this comparison before, but when you play, it's my Splinter Cell Blacklist comparison. So when you play Blacklist, you can be full on, guns blazing. You can be completely stealth and nobody know you're there, or you can ninja your way around and kill everybody. But you're still playing ninjery, and that's kind of like my favourite way to play. I like to sneak around and kill people. That way they're not in my way when I try and leave. And that I found is the perfect way to play Deathloop. Is you sneak around, kill people nice and quietly. You will get into gunfights. It will happen. There's no two ways about it. That's how the game's built. But every time you get a new upgrade, every time you kill one of the visionaries, which is the main characters you have to get rid of, you just feel like such a badass. And you can kill them in different ways. Obviously, we've got this Dishonored thing again. Each area will have a weird way of killing somebody, or you can just walk up and shoot them in the head if that's what you really feel. It all depends. But these are all things, and you can unlock these things. You can unlock information to help you do it as you progress the game, and as your kind of web of things increases to a point where you then get to the end of the game, and the last mission is you have to win the game. You have to kill all these people in one day. So basically, you spend 10 hours or whatever doing all these missions, so you know how to set things up to make everybody be available at specific points in the day, so you can do all the kills in one day. Story-wise, I think it's excellent. It's such a fun way to tell a story and to make you do, and to make you work towards these things. It feels like an extension on the finding the non-lethal ways of killing people in Dishonored, and then having to kind of expand on that to make it work. It is definitely a distant cousin to Dishonored, this game. There's no two ways about it. I do have a bit of a problem with the actual stealth elements, though. I done really well playing this game. I didn't look at a full trophy list until after I finished it, because I wanted it to be a surprise. So what I did was I went in and I found a guide, and the guide literally said every single trophy can be collected after you finish the game. So that's great. I'll roll the credits, and then I'll go play some cleanup. Now, I do know that there is a quite tough stealth-based trophy. The problem is, the game is not built for a fully stealth run. There's no way. Maybe there is. Maybe I just haven't found it, but it doesn't feel like it. There's no way to. Well, there must be, because people have platinumed it already. But it feels like I'm playing the wrong way, trying to ninja my way through this entire game without anybody seeing me, and without killing anybody except the visionaries, and not doing anything outside of just killing the main characters. It feels like I'm being hamstrung. Now, on top of that, you can, in Deathloop, you can do it when you're online. Your friends can do it. If you're not online, just the game will do it. You can be invaded mid-mission by a woman who's trying to kill you.
A mission.
It happens mid-mission as well.
Yeah, when it's the NPC version, isn't it?
Yeah. So I said, because I tried to get into your game just before we started recording, and it wasn't working. But yeah, so you can be invaded mid-mission, early mission, by this woman Juliana who's trying to kill you. She's part of the story. More stuff for you to unwrap. But you can be sneaking your way around a map. I genuinely got right to the building next door to a visionary I needed to kill. Nobody had seen me, and this fucking woman turns up, guns blazing, waking the entire neighbourhood up. Everybody knew where I was. You have legitimately just fucked my stealth run, and there was nothing I could do about that. Absolutely nothing. Outside of exit to the menu and restart that particular mission. That felt a bit shitty. I did not like that at all. That's one of I don't have many complaints about the game. It is a shitload of fun. I did get right to the end, doing it stealthy, and then the character I needed to kill clipped into a wall, went into a room that I couldn't access. It doesn't appear to be an actual room there. He just clipped into the environment, because I could stand next to the wall and fire a shotgun at it, and you could hear him talking, and you could hear him going, "Oh shit, what's that? There's somebody here trying to kill me," but wouldn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
that was quite infuriating.
I had a guy clip into a wall earlier. He tripped over on some candy balls and clipped into the wall, but his foot was still out of the wall.
Nice.
So I managed to shoot him in the foot a few times.
And then because I remember I said to you guys, I was like, "Oh fuck, this is right at the end of my run. I'm going to have to restart the whole day again." I was on the last part of the game, so I was going through the list so I could roll the credits and see the end of the story. So, but I don't really want to crash out to dash and restart, so I don't lose my stealth and all of that lot, because I've had Juliana invade me. I've killed a couple of people. I've got some upgrades that I'm going to lose if I don't see the exit, because anything you pick up, you will only keep if you infuse it with stuff that you collect during the game. If you don't infuse it, next time you loop, it's gone. I thought, well, I don't really want to lose this, which annoyed me. That I genuinely got pissed off of it as well. I was like, I'm this close to seeing the fucking end credits, and you're being a dick. Anyway, so I came out, I just restarted and went, right, fuck it, let's do it again. Didn't bother stealthing it, I just went through it. It's so much more satisfying going through killing people. So much more satisfying. This is definitely the way to play Deathloop, I think.
I've kind of been doing a bit of both myself.
Yeah, see, I do as a rule with games like that.
Blasting everything when I get busted.
So ninja my way through, but killing people in stealth, which just felt so much more satisfying. Got to the end again, had a load of core upgrades ready to go. Saw the end credits roll, lost them anyway. So, oh, great. I could have saved myself 45 minutes and just done that again without worrying about it. I did get a bit pissed.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I like about it, but I'm expecting them to change. In that if you machete somebody, whilst you're in a group of other people, you don't seemingly you don't take any damage whilst you're doing it.
No.
Which is quite handy, particularly if you're in a big group.
It is, yeah.
The other one I quite like is if you give someone a swift kick and then instantly do them, you don't even have to hit them twice with the machete. You can just kick them once and then assassinate them.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works, because the kick generally spins them round, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
grab them by an edge, mate. Just kick, they go flying.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Go 300 on that shit. It's awesome.
I really want to try and catch that guy who jumps off the ledge. I really want to kick him off the ledge instead, but there's quite a few people to get through to get there in time to kick him off it.
Yeah.
Although I suppose later on when you've got some of those slabs, I could probably do it.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I genuinely, it's a couple of annoyances aside, it's probably the most pure fun I've had with a game so far this year. With a new game so far this year, it very much is Dishonored with a roguelite feel to it. I like the art style. I love the story, and I love the having to go and unpick stuff so you can figure things out. I think is it's just my kind of jam. I really, really like it. I've looked at the trophy list now, and I don't think I've got anything too difficult to do. So I might have a play. But obviously I can't get a platinum if I can't get the fucking game to connect to somebody, which would be a shit. But yeah.
That's true. Well, I can set that up for you, mate. You can jump in with me.
But yeah, well, I'm not that fast. I will see what happens. But yeah, I'll spend a couple of days maybe just dicking around, getting some trophies and stuff, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
I really like it. Really like it. Would have liked it last year as well before they delayed it, bastards. But, such is life. No, genuinely though, Deathloop is a shitload of fun. I hope it makes its money back on PS5. But I do hope it really finds its audience when it hits Game Pass. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it and will play it through going, I didn't realise it was going to be like this. But, well, we'll see. That's me done, mate.
Oh, well. Okay.
And you were worried we wouldn't fill in the time.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm liking Deathloop as well. I've not really got much to talk about. I've only just picked it up today, really. So I'm just plotting my way through. I think I'm basically on my first free day, where you kind of choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
So last time I just finished Wolfenstein.
Yes.
The New Order. And so I moved on from there to play the Old Blood. I have now finished the Old Blood. I'm not going to ace that one. Because whereas I finished the Old Blood needing about 2 achievements, I finished this needing probably 10, give or take. And when I looked at what they were, basically you have to finish set pieces on the hardest difficulties in a limited amount of time without getting killed. And I was like, fuck no. I am not spending the time and effort. I just don't have the inclination to do that. I'm not that desperate for essentially a platinum. I can't be bothered for that 1000G. If it's close, I'll go for it nowadays. But if it's miles away, I don't even bother.
No, that's fair enough.
But as a whole, I enjoyed that game. That was basically just sort of a short 8-hour game that led up to the events of the New Order.
Yeah.
So following that, I've started playing Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Keep throwing off. Which is a little bit more open world-ish. It's not quite as linear.
It's very hub-like.
Yeah, it's very hub-like. How do I put it? I had my reservations initially because I thought the areas were too convoluted, but it turns out they're not actually that hard to navigate and they're not actually that difficult. The reason why I think they've stretched it and given you these slightly bigger maps is because you get armor later on in the game that gives you the ability to go certain ways through the map.
Yeah.
And although you can eventually get all of them, you start with only the one. But generally, I don't think that any of those 3 choices actually really makes that much of a difference. because when I played back through the same areas again with the different item, a lot of the time it just took me into a separate part of the same building that I had to go into anyway.
Yeah.
But I finished that too. Finished the storyline of that. I've got a few of the like sort of mopping up stuff to do.
Yeah.
And a few of the diversions or whatever they called them, where you could basically just go and hunt an Uber commander.
Yeah.
I've got a few of those to do too. But all in all, I really liked 2. I thought it was good. The story was fucking bananas.
Oh yeah, Soils was absolutely batshit. I really enjoyed number 2. Eventually, I didn't like the beginning so much. I felt weirdly underpowered. I didn't like the bit where my health was for shit.
Yeah, I didn't mind, to be fair, because you had the 100 armor and it went up to 200, so I wasn't too fussed about that.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I really liked that one, and I liked the or I wouldn't really say a bait and switch, but the twist-ish of where you thought, oh, okay, that's the end of that, and then we're going to move on to, which I guess it's just because we've got the new blood now, which has got a picture of 2 people on the front.
Yep.
Clearly what must be Blazkowicz's kids.
Yep.
Just out of a random guess. If we hadn't have had that, I probably would have thought that Blazkowicz survived what happened to him.
Yeah.
But because of that happening, I just instantly presumed that we would switch, therefore, to a few years in the future, and then carry on as his kids, because I already knew about New Blood.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought it was going to do. But obviously it didn't, and it went total fucking sci-fi batshit instead, which was just as much fun, to be fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that. And
that's good.
I'm surprised it took me so long to play those Wolfenstein games, to be honest, because they're really good palate cleansers as well.
They are. I think I said the same to you when I played them a year ago. Because I really enjoyed playing them, and they were just games. I just chucked them on, and I think I killed them in 2 or 3 sittings. But I just finished them and moved on. But I really enjoyed them, really, and I've been waiting for you to get to this point so we can play the Young Blood together.
Oh, is that co-op then?
It is co-op, yeah.
Okay, neat. We'll put that on a list for the next few weeks then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, I didn't read every bit of text. I never do anymore. I just don't have the time for that shit nowadays.
I do for games that I'm really interested in, but at the end of the day, as much fun as it is, Wolfenstein is an 8-hour shooter. I don't need that lore.
Yeah, the shooting was a lot of fun. I played it on Super. I played it on Don't Hurt Me Daddy anyway.
Oh yeah,
I find it's the most fun.
Yeah, Wolfenstein on baby mode is the way forward. I've got no interest in bullet spongy enemies on the harder difficulties.
Yeah. So yeah, super enjoyed that. But obviously, that's all of my game time that I've taken up on just those. I have peeked into a couple of other bits and bobs. So I picked up and started playing a game called Narita Boy, which is...
I feel like I've seen that advertised.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, so you may have seen it.
That's probably why.
But the image of it basically just looks like Tron.
Okay.
And obviously, I've got a big boner for Tron. I love Tron stuff. I thought, you know what? If they've gone to the effort to make it look like this is clearly a Tron jip-off, I thought I'm going to have to play it. And I played it, and it's bonkers. And it is just basically a Tron rip-off. Story is completely different. It's nothing to do with the same thing. But it looks, feels, sounds, acts. Your main character is just suspiciously... looks like one of a user of some description. I've not finished it. I got probably put a couple of hours in, but it is like a side-scrolling platformer, so that's what made brought me to it a bit more. but I don't think. I think the thing that threw me off was that there's no waypoints or anything like that in a game that's quite difficult to tell where you are because it's all 8/16 bit.
Yeah.
So it's all a bit bananas. And I think it's the way that it tells you to go. It tells you to go to a place, but you've got absolutely no idea where that place is.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you, like you need to go to the so and so temple, but you never know that you're in that. Even if you walked into it, you wouldn't know that you were in it. I don't know. Maybe I need some more time with that one, I think.
Yeah.
And then I played through the first chapter of A Plague Tale: Innocence, which so far is extremely good.
That's been on my list to play for a while. I know that's something that's kind of right up my street. I just need to find the time.
The first chapter is brilliant, and actually probably worth playing alone.
Fair enough.
It's up there. Can I say it? You're going to get away with this? Are we going to get flack for this? It's up there with The Last of Us opening chapter.
Ooh.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. It's not quite as sad, but it is very, very good. So I was chuffed with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the game pans out based on that first chapter.
Yeah, I very much want to play it. It came very close to being one of my choices for this year, but How Long to Beat had it, I think, at like 11 hours or something. I was like, well, that's breaking the rules. So I decided not to. And then I just went, I ain't got time. But I desperately want to play it because I know it's the kind of game that I would enjoy.
Yeah. Arthur watched me play it and probably shouldn't have. Basically. Because I didn't know what was coming, and initially when you start playing it, you think you're just this sweet, it starts off, you're just kind of walking through the forest with this sweet sort of young teenage French girl.
Yeah.
And you just think, and you get a slingshot, and you just think it's going to be nice, and then it just goes to shit, and I was like, fuck, I was going to get any worse. Artist fucking shitting himself. I'm like, okay. But yeah,
I don't know what the rating on it is. I'm guessing it's a 16 or 18 game. But I don't play games in front of even though I know Nikita's a little bit older as well, but I don't play games in front of Nikita unless I know exactly what's coming. So shooters, it's fine. You won't find anything in a Call of Duty she hasn't watched in a million films that we own.
Yeah.
But sometimes with a game like The Last of Us, I was very careful not to have her anywhere near me the first time I played through it because of that. I don't know what's coming.
Yeah. A Plague Tale's an 18.
Yeah.
But the reason I think that what happened was I was playing it on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Whilst everyone else was still in bed because I was up.
Yeah.
So I had my headset on, and he'd come up the stairs and I didn't notice initially. And then he sat down and asked if he could play it. And at the time when he asked me if he could play it, I was just in the house.
Yeah.
Sort of in the interim between two of the major parts of the story. And he wanted to practice his dual stick. So I let him have a go at that and just watched him run around staring at the floor for a few minutes. As kids do when they first start dual sticking it. And then I played the rest of the chapter while he was sat next to me. And actually, in terms of what I would normally let him see, it was fine to see. There was no gratuitous violence and bloody murder or anything like that. But it was tense.
Yeah.
It was quite tense because you were having to sneak. And I think that scared him a little bit because and he was scared of getting caught almost. But then, to be absolutely honest, when he plays his Skylanders games, on some of the levels there's these little robots that hover around on the level that shine a light out underneath them, And he gets scared of those fuckers because basically if you get caught, you just get put back to the start of the level or start of the run.
Well, that's the whole point in Sneak 'em Up, so isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that, it was no different to that, but I certainly wouldn't let him watch the rest of it now based on what I already know.
No, fair enough.
But yeah, so that's me. So I've played 2 to the end, and I've dabbled in a few. I started playing that Eastward on the Switch as well.
Any good?
Yeah, it's okay. The main character in a text game, because there's no spoken, there's no spoken dialogue. In a text game, doesn't talk.
Excellent.
But I don't know why. I have a feeling he's actually a mute.
Okay.
The game hasn't made out that he is. But people don't seem to talk to him and expect a response in the conversation. So I kind of get the feeling that he's a mute, but I don't know yet for sure. But it's the weirdest. It's got mini games in the game. It's got a mini game called something, and you basically start playing it, and it's a 2D. It's basically Dragon Quest inside this game.
Okay.
And it's an ever such a bizarre setup. It tells you at the start of the game you've got 7 days in this game.
Yeah.
To beat the Demon King. And you can see the day and night cycle. And this is in just a fucking 2D game inside another game on the Switch.
Yeah. And
it's quite complex RPG inside. It's bonkers. I played a bit. I played about half an hour and I just thought, what the fuck am I? So I checked on the net just to see if there was any genuine reason to actually play and finish that. And there isn't. Not really, outside of a couple of conversations. So I was like, I am not fucking doing that then. Because I just do not have that sort of time. But so far, it seems pretty good. Still got no idea what's going on, still early on. So we'll see how it goes. I still keep buying fucking games for my Switch. And I've bought what must have been sort of 8 or 9 games since the last time I actually played a game on the Switch. And I've still not fucking played them all. I've not played any of them, actually. This is the first one I've actually turned on. And then I've got Dread coming this week as well.
Nice. So I guess that's going to take up a lot of your time.
Well, I expect I'll probably pick that up and play that. But again, because it's on Switch, I might just keep it on the fly and have it on the power on, power off thing and just play it when I get moments to spare.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it fits. And that's definitely me this time.
Cool.
Yay.
Yeah. Well,
just looking what we at. 1 hour and 46 minutes. And we were worried about filling up an hour. Look at that.
Well, there you go.
We're always worried about filling up time, and then it just sort of happens.
Yeah, well, we only catch up once a fortnight with you, John. He doesn't respond all that often. Bless him. Well, I suppose we better wrap up then.
We're going in.
Goodbye. Yeah, okay. So I've completely lost my train of thought and even what we do. So, Brooker, where can people find you if they want to find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Brooker411. And that's all I'm going to say, because last time I said, I'm going to be on a podcast that's really good and you should have listened to it. And then 2 hours later, the guy cancelled on me. So it didn't happen. I then had to re-edit the podcast.
Screw that guy.
I'd already edited the podcast, so it was ready to go, and then I had to go back and re-edit and take that bit out of it. So I will not be advertising my wares anymore.
John, would you like to advertise your wares?
I am the John_CU on Twitter, although I can't really remember the last time I actually tweeted.
Been a while.
I think the last thing I did was enter a competition.
Nice.
You always used to always used to comment on one girl's posts. Is that your current girlfriend?
No, that's a former.
Is that a former girlfriend? Were you just kind of stalking her to keep her on the wings just in case you have
Just in
break up?
case.
Yeah.
Is that one of those? The carrot dangle X?
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. And I am Pyro Loveridge pretty much everywhere. And if you do not want to listen to us individually, you can find us as a group at Character Unlock, mostly on Twitter.
Yes.
And also on this podcast.
Just in case you didn't know, we have a podcast.
Yeah, we do. Next up is the big 130.
Is 130 a big one?
Yeah, who's got 130?
I'm guessing that'd be John, because we need to play his video game and he needs to talk about it.
Yeah, The Ascent, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
When are we playing?
Friday?
I can do Friday.
At some point before the next podcast.
Yeah. But you say that, I need to plug my Xbox in and let it update and maybe download the game, because...
not Friday.
Nah. I mean, it'll take me 2 minutes, but it's currently plugged into... I have to have a separate router for my working from home thing. So I took the cable out of my Xbox and put it into my router. So I now need to plug my Xbox back in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody catch up with us next time to see how we get on with The Ascent.
Yay.
Okay, say goodnight, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.